One of the people who was taped recently referred to Lady Bird as Lyndon Johnson's North Star. Would you comment on that?
Yeah. Well, that is a lovely comment, and she was an anchor for it, as well as something to follow. And I did recently run across some notes that she had done in shorthand when she had been listening to I guess she'd been listening to a Johnson press conference and from the East Room, and she had been watching it on television, and she had made these notes about how he should look into the camera, and how his pauses were good, but how his pauses could be improved, and words to emphasize. And she was they were not critical comments. They were things that she thought would improve his presentation. And she, when I didn't know Mrs. Johnson, when she was, when people talked about her as being this shy little butterfly, fragile person, I knew her after she had been in speech classes with Hester Bell Provenson, and and she knew how to mark her speech cards, and she knew how to emphasize certain sections and how to look at an audience. And sometimes you would just walk into her room. I was coming over to work with her on perhaps a guest list or a White House entertainment, and I'd walk into her bedroom where her desk was, and she would stand up and start talking to me, and it would be kind of a shock, momentary shock, because before I realized that what she was doing, she was using me as the audience to practice her speech cards. But Mrs. Johnson is a person who I don't think in her whole life was ever bored, because she had this deep curiosity about everything and everybody, whether it was learning about a new plant and what would make it grow, or whether it was a new person, or whether she was seeing you and she hadn't seen you a while. She was interested in what you were doing, what you were interested in, and she just viewed life as a rich experience. And I sometimes thought of that line in the play Annie Mame, where Annie Mame says that life is a banquet and most poor fools are just starving to death. Well, Mrs. Johnson was never starving to death, and when you were around her, you were never starving to death either, because she brought you into the excitement of what she was interested in and what she was doing, and new things that she was exploring. And that's one of the reasons that the Wildflower Center, first called the National Wildflower Research Center, and then became over Mrs. Johnson's initial protest, because she did not want it named after her, but after it had been in business for, I guess, about 18 years, it was renamed the Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center. But she always had a joy in life, and a joy in discovery, a joy in doing something new and exploring something new. I was with her in the Virgin Islands. She had gone down to give the graduation address at the University of the Virgin Islands. And after the ceremonial activities at the university, we went over to the island of St. John for 2 days of R&R, rest and relaxation. And I had brought along my mask and flippers and snorkel to go out and see the wonderful things in that clear water of the Caribbean. And she wanted to go too. So we got a mask and flippers and snorkel for her, and I had been with other people when that was the first time they had put a mask on their face and breathing through a tube through the water. And there's a certain time getting used to it and a little bit of discomfort. But for Mrs. Johnson, as soon as she put that mask on and put her face in the water and realized that she was like her very own glass-bottom boat, and she could see what was on this the floor of the Caribbean, and she could see all these beautiful fish and the coral and so forth, she just never wanted to take her head out of the water. We had this ranger naturalist with us, a man named Noble Samuels, who knew all the...
Start. I didn't say a word.
You don't have to. I can see it all over your face.
Oh, look, when are you going to get this into your head, all right? I don't care. I'm not interested.
You are just jealous, Ronnie, and it's pathetic.
Well,
Nothing, Auntie Peg.
well, it didn't sound like nothing to me.
Oh, I can't believe this.
I take it this is to do with the fella that Roxy had a date with last night.
There's more in the cupboard.
Well, come on.
I don't want to talk about it, Auntie Peg.
Is it to do with Jack?
No, it's nothing to do with Jack.
Ah, so I was right. It is to do with the fella. So who is
It's
it?
not a fella. It's our dad.
Archie?
Dad's brother, blimey.
She knows what he's like, and yet every time he whistles, she's like a puppy dog. It's all going to end in tears, and guess who'll end up shoveling the mess? And why is there never anything you want in this damn house?
Here you are.
Sorry, Auntie Peggy, I don't work here anymore. And if I did, I wouldn't wear one of those.
Oh, I don't like it. It covers up my USP.
Do you what?
My unique selling point. I felt desexualised, Auntie Peg.
Well, that might not be such a bad thing. Punters who spend less time ogling you might spend more time drinking beer.
I don't think so.
That's not a request, it's an order, just so I can tell Mo Harris that I tried.
Under extreme duress.
Now, all I want is for you and your sister to make up.
No way.
That's not a request either.
Why do I have to make the first move?
Because someone has to.
You didn't hear some of the things she said about Dad.
Has it occurred to you she might have a point?
What?
Well, I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen him, and I don't know, he might have changed. But for all his charm, he was never the most reliable of blokes now, was he?
I'm not saying he's perfect, all right, but he's still my dad and I love him. And because I love him, he loves me back, and that is what she can't stand.
What I can't stand is her capacity for self-delusion. If he loves you so much, where is he now? You ain't gonna see him for another year, or the next time he wants his ego massaging.
What is your problem? I'm not asking you to go. You see, Auntie Peg, she's just jealous.
Oh, yeah, that's rich coming from her. Did you see the way she was with Jack?
Now, will you pack it in, the pair of you? Now, what do we think about this T-shirt? Roxy seems to think it's hiding all her assets, but now you've seen it, Ronnie, what do you think?
I really couldn't care
Why
less.
don't you just tell her, Ronnie?
Tell me what?
Well, that's got to come from Ronnie. But you're going to have a very long wait, Auntie Peg.
Expect a quiet night, then.
It's not really the Vic's trade we're targeting, Auntie Peg.
Oh, far very much.
If I don't overcharge the city lot, they won't think they're having a good time.
Oh, one for the price of two, eh?
Yeah.
The bathroom was free ages ago.
Yes, fantastic, innit? Not having to wade through stinking nappies. Although I will miss Billy, you know, he's such an easy target.
You two didn't say anything to drive him away now, did you?
Don't know, don't care.
You're an East End businesswoman, Auntie Peg.
Yes.
Why don't I leave your name at the door? Family discount on drinks.
Ah, brilliant.
Roxy can look after the bar for a couple of hours.
Yeah, Roxy's going out. Boat trip, dinner, dancing, my call, apparently.
Who do you know uses the phone at this hour?
Someone who wants to spoil her rotten by the sounds of it.
Oh, look, I don't get to see him that often, and when I do, he always goes over the top.
Confirmed by text. Nothing like the personal touch, eh?
Right, this is Janet's. Can you drop it in with Honey and Billy?
Why can't you?
Because they've been really weird with me. Why did they move out?
I used your idea. Inappropriate thoughts between cousins, only I put a different spin on it for Honey's sake.
What, that we fancy Billy?
Not we, no.
Oh, you're sick.
Well, got him out, didn't it?
You are lucky. I'm off to have a skinful of very expensive wine tonight.
Early start.
Yeah, well, we're making a day and night of it. Well, there's always so much to catch up on, you know.
If it turns out to be a disappointment, I'll be at the club.
It won't be.
Oh, you've gone to a lot of trouble over this one.
He's worth it.
Is he that bad?
Bottom of the barrel, in my opinion.
Titanic 2 Jack is back. Whoever made this trailer is a butthole because people actually wanted to see that, and if it's fake, you get their hopes up for nothing. Jack deserves to live. Don't make a fake video just to make people sad when they realize it's fake. Don't be a jerk. Jack is hot and awesome. Now stop the video.